morning. Good morning. Hi guys. Welcome to another video. So I don't know what the title of this video is going to be yet, but it's going to be something like, is YouTube worth it for creators? Is YouTube worth watching anymore? Yeah, this video is entirely about YouTube. I have to tell you that with YouTube monetization, I'd like to be monetized, definitely. It definitely helps when you get anywhere between $50 and $80 a month. So, in that case, YouTube only pays after you have at least $100. So every 2 months, I get a small deposit from YouTube on my bank account. And I wouldn't want to miss that. But having said that, it's not as good as it used to be, or as they make it out to be. Supposedly you get a very high percentage of the advertising revenue, but it seems like sometimes the advertising revenues are really low. Maybe it's because YouTube has lost popularity to TikTok or other platforms. Depending on what video it is and who gets ads on your video. Like if you get 1,000 views, it's anywhere between $3 and $15 or so Canadian. It varies widely, and it depends when they're getting watched. It depends what kind of ads are on there. It probably also depends whether it's skippable and people skip it, or if somebody actually clicks and buys something on YouTube. So I don't know exactly how it works, but there's no transparency on YouTube's side, really. They just tell you how much you made, and what you have is the stats on how many people watched your video, how long they watched it for. They even give you the moments in the video where people click away. I don't actively choose the spots where the ads go. I just click on monetize, put all the ads on there that you want, and yeah, I mean, as much as I don't like ads, and I have to be really honest here, I don't like ads. I watch a lot of YouTube myself, and it's always annoying, and I always skip when I can, and well, I bet you do the same thing, and I know that it's probably taking away from the revenue that a YouTuber will get, and that's just what we live with, right? YouTube's become worse when it comes to ads, don't you agree? I mean, there used to be maybe one ad at the beginning, then one in the middle, and one at the end, and now there's like 2 or even 3 interruptions throughout a video, depending on the length, and then the ads can be almost as long as the video itself if you don't skip any part of it. I mean, I always try to watch my own videos with the ads if I can, so I'm aware of this, and I wish there was another way of monetizing these videos. And I know some of you are going to say, why don't you do Patreon? And there's the Buy Me a Coffee thing, and I always post that link and that QR code. Some of you have donated to my channel, and I much appreciate that. It does cost money, and if I was to translate my time into money, it would cost a fortune to run this channel. What? YouTube, I have a passion for it. You have unlimited creative freedom with it, really, unless you want to do something that doesn't fit YouTube's guidelines. But really, it's pretty broad. You could do a lot, and I've taken advantage of that. Made this channel something that is almost so many different things. And sometimes I've been told that that is not the way to do a YouTube channel, but hey, that's the way I do my YouTube channel, and maybe it's never going to grow to 100,000 or even 10,000 subscribers, but I've come beyond that. I'm just enjoying what I do, and well, hopefully it'll keep paying a little bit of money, and hopefully over time it'll increase a little bit, because yeah, when I have some mishap or something and I have to replace a camera or whatever, which knock on wood hasn't happened that often. I had to replace a Tascam this year. I found a used really good one on eBay for, I think it was 150 bucks or 180 versus like 250 plus if you buy brand new. So, you know, it's all these little things. They add up, and then it's the time. But, you know, can you see something better to do on a sunny, hot day in Edmonton than sitting here talking to you guys sitting on the river? I'd have a really hard time coming up with something better than this. I've noticed that the ads on YouTube are getting more, but I can't say that the revenue from the ads has gotten more. I mean, it's, if at best, at the very, very best, like considering I probably get more views than I did 2 or 3 years ago, the revenue hasn't really gone up. They say there's the potential to make a whole lot of money on YouTube, and if people get into this. But the problem with YouTube is that they already have some idea, or the algorithm, famous algorithm, has some idea where you belong, and then your videos get shown to a certain audience that it determined they might watch it. And then it doesn't go much beyond that. You know, if people don't get your thumbnail in their feed, then of course nobody's going to see the video. You could have like thousands of videos on YouTube and they don't get shown to anyone. So they're basically buried in millions and billions of other videos, and nobody ever finds them. Huh? And that's really the subject I want to talk about, is how much effort I put into YouTube videos, into making YouTube videos, and like the pros and cons, you know, is it really worth it? Well, you be the judge, but my first language is German. I don't speak it much these days, but so I was never a very good speaker. When it comes to public speaking, it hasn't been my strength, and there were even times when I couldn't do it. You know, I was just stepping in front of people. Camera is almost the same thing, believe it or not. But then I would freeze up, and I wasn't able to cope with that situation and actually get my message out. And, well, I don't think I'm really a perfect speaker right now. But that's not the point. It's just, has there been an improvement? These plants here are some kind of nestle that sting. See that? Yeah, touch them with your skin and it hurts. Or it burns. It just burns and then it goes away. It's not a big deal. It's not like poison ivy. In terms of practicing how to speak to a camera, whatever that is worth, I mean, you may never need it in life other than for YouTube. YouTube's been worth it for me. I think, you know, it's allowed me to become a better speaker and, well, just to do these videos and get better at it. But the way it works out is not like you may think that now you're going to make the big dollars and you can quit your job. No, it's nowhere near that. There are times when you're wondering, you know, you make a video, put some effort into it, and you think, well, this is worth something. This is worth something for people, and people are going to watch it, and they're going to benefit, and they're going to like it, and they're going to perhaps leave a comment and stuff. And so YouTube is going to distribute that to more and more and more people. And then once the video's out and people actually do watch it, and you could see by the statistics they give you the statistics, how many minutes people watched on average. Now that's a very important one, because supposedly the more percentage of your video is being watched, the longer you can keep people watching, the more that video is going to get shown. And I mean, at least theoretically, and this is the key, the more of the ads are going to reach people. Because the way you're getting paid by YouTube, it's through the ads. It's really nothing else. I'm looking at a dead pelican here, I think. So the reason you're getting paid by YouTube is for the ads. There's nothing else. You don't get compensated for doing a good job or doing a nice, interesting video demonstrating something that 100,000 people want to see. No, none of that. That's also a con, because you're not really getting paid properly for your efforts. You're getting paid because of advertisers. And, well, I think in North America, this has been the case for ages, that the program is getting paid for by the advertisers, which is considered normal. But I can tell you there are places where this is not normal. And the more I think about it myself, and compare it to where I grew up, which was in Germany, where people actually used to pay monthly fees for their television programming, and there were inspectors going around checking if you had an antenna on your roof, and if you did, well, then you were sent this bill. And if you said, well, there's an antenna there, but we don't have a TV, you would actually kind of have to prove it to them. I remember this. I was like questioning this. How do they enforce paying these TV fees, But this is how it worked. And so you had to put up with very, very few, if any, ads at all. But in North America, it was always, like when we were kids, my sister and I, we'd go to visit relatives in Canada, and it was like, for us, it was a freaky, weird thing that there was a commercial right in the middle of a movie. We were told that, well, it's your chance to go to the bathroom or get some popcorn or whatever. But at the same time, we felt like this was a really bad interruption to the movie. And, well, we kind of thought it was weird and didn't really like it. Now, YouTube, as you can probably attest to, the ads are 10 times worse. And the pay that you get out of them, it's ridiculous. I mean, you're working for the big corporations for pennies. So then, of course, there's the question, like, why would you do it at all if that's how you're thinking? And then it's like, well, most of the time, I'm not thinking like that. But at the same time, I'd like to get compensated for what I do, especially if it reaches thousands of people, sometimes only hundreds, and sometimes a video flops and it gets under 100 views. I got other things to do, guys, but I'm spending it making YouTube videos. I'm talking to you, and you are people that, you know me. I don't necessarily know you. I don't know. I know some of you have communicated in the comments, so there's some kind of relationship that develops. But most of you, you are somebody in my head. You know, sometimes I get comments that seem to assume that I know exactly who you are. I mean, there are videos on YouTube now that are entirely AI generated. There are people doing ridiculous things just to get attention, and they do, and then the video pays them a little bit more. There are lots of women out there who know that guys will watch when they take their clothes off. And they know they can't take it all off, but they take off whatever they can in order to show themselves. And this might only be in the thumbnail, or they might jump into this lake right here in their string bikini, and it's enough. I make my videos, I post them, and the thrill is the challenge. There's a challenge there. It's creative. There's always something different that you come up with. You get an idea, you turn it into a video. Sometimes the idea sucks and you get only 50 views. Other times it's exactly what people want to see and you get 3,000 and you get a little bit better money. Because if 3,000 people see your video, then also 3,000 people are likely to see one or two of the ads that are in the video, and that's where the money comes in. It's not the benefit you give to anybody or whatever. It makes sense and it doesn't. You know what I'm saying, right? You have to have something that grabs people's attention. See, this is the kind of thing you have to do. When you do your thumbnail, you have to put something in there that'll get people to click. And if you don't have a good picture, you just put some questionable line. Like, I'm fed up with YouTube. I am fed up with YouTube. YouTube sucks. Clickbait. But what are you going to do? Not every video has to give you a super high value here anymore, because it doesn't make a difference. That's not what the pay is. And in a way, this has almost sometimes thinking me like, well, why am I doing this? I'm not a born entertainer. I'm a creator. I'm an artist. I do stuff that I put my skills into that I enjoy. And videos are part of that. And when those videos don't reach the audience that they're meant to reach, because YouTube just doesn't care, because they only care about how can they get somebody to watch the ads, and it's all about attention. Well, sometimes that makes me think, maybe there should be a better way. I just haven't found it yet. So and I know there are things like Patreon, and there are channel memberships. There's super things. Sometimes people send me money via super things, and it's really much appreciated. But as you may suspect, it's not entirely my money if you donate through YouTube super thanks, because they take their cut. This is the thing, with YouTube, there's always a certain percentage that other people take. I don't know how to conclude this video. It's always an open question. Do I make another YouTube video? How much effort do I want to put into my #2 channel that is about drones? I'll leave a link in the description. I can't possibly, on an ongoing basis, have 2 YouTube channels and a handyman business and have some hobbies that I want to pursue. It's impossible. There's only one of me. So do I want to spend my time getting older? Do I want to spend it making freaking YouTube videos? And so far the answer has always been, well, yes. YouTube's great, but if you're honest about it, maybe there's some things about YouTube that aren't as good as they used to be. I remember it like being the greatest idea ever back in 2005 or whatever, and I hadn't even really discovered it yet. But it was like, wow, there's just ordinary people can publish their videos, and it seemed like it was never going to replace things like professional television or whatever. It was just like a goofy thing. And sometimes still is, but those goofy creators, well, they get like 5 views for a video. And I consider myself like one of the top 10% or whatever that actually get about $50 a month. And I mean, $50 a month, is it worth it? You be the judge. Should I quit YouTube? Does it cross my mind? What do you think? There you go. So let me know. Make sure you put a like on this video, and if you like what I had to say, hello.
Good morning.
Then you can also subscribe to my channel. And there you go. Have a good day.